Hi, my name is Doug Reed, and I'm the Managing Director of Possibilities Africa, USA. I've been studying the book of Nehemiah out of the Old Testament. I've really been fascinated by this story. Nehemiah, he's a Jew, but he finds himself in Persia as a cupbearer to the king. A friend visits, and it really saddens him to hear that his homeland, Jerusalem, is destroyed. The walls have been broken down, the city gates have been burned. In fact, the Bible tells us that he's so distraught that he finds himself fasting and praying and asking God to intercede. And in time, he reaches the courage to ask the king if he could go back to Jerusalem and rebuild the walls. In fact, he's so bold that he even asks the king to use the king's lumber, the timbers from his forest. The king grants that. So as Nehemiah goes back to Jerusalem, he realizes he can't do it all by himself. And so he invites other people to be a part of rebuilding the walls. Now you might be asking, what does that have to do with me? What does it have to do even with Possibilities Africa? Martin Samuyu, the founder and international director of Possibilities Africa, often tells of the similarities between Nehemiah and the current state of Africa. You see, in many ways, Africa is in ruins because of political corruption, because of the handout mentality, economic and spiritual poverty. There's this need. And so Possibilities Africa is rebuilding. We're rebuilding not the walls, but we're rebuilding lives. And just like Nehemiah needed help from outside of Jerusalem for resources, he needed other people to be invited into the process of rebuilding. We too need other people to step in and be a part of what we're doing. We invite you to be a part of rebuilding lives throughout Africa. One of the things that's fascinating to me is how, as we invest into one pastor, that pastor in turn invests into his church, his congregation, and then they in turn invest into their community. So the gospel is being shared, and in reality, it's just the Great Commission in action. Wherever you live, and no matter how little or how much you have, you can be a part of the Great Commission. Our fiscal year ends June 30th, and we are inviting you to partner with us. Our goal is to raise $300,000 before the end of June. If you want to be a part of rebuilding lives, will you prayerfully consider joining our team in the way of giving? Thank you.